Record. The progress
Recording
is recording.
develops.
Recording.
Let's just do it then, in case I do have to go to the school.
Okay.
In at number one on the filth list, apart from films that are on the list.
That's confusing.
Yeah,
So
That's a confusing lead, and you've confused everyone.
would you guys say
Good.
this is rounding out Bad Cops Month?
Bad Cops Month?
Oh, yeah, kinda.
We've had a fair amount of bad cops. Who do we have yesterday? What movie did we do yesterday? I forgot.
Memories of Murder with the Bad
Oh,
Cops.
that had bad cops too. Yeah, okay.
It was all about bad cops.
My memories are offline, I guess. I don't know. This is Films and Filth, the Citizen Kane of podcasting. Matt is here.
Luke is over there.
Mark's here.
Okay, I'm always curious to see how who will step up to the challenge of that.
I started just hesitating, and then it just became the standoff.
Yeah.
Stay as much
Zoom
as we can.
standoff is always fun. We need an editor to edit that bit out, maybe.
Oh, if only someone recorded the audio separately.
Huh? Oh.
Well, today we have an editor.
The editor. He's the only editor. There are no other editors, just this guy. He edits every movie you've seen.
Well, he edited this movie.
Right.
There are two other editors in this movie.
Wow.
No, but he edited this movie.
That's
Adam
cool.
Brooks, billed as Racy, so edited this movie.
Okay. So
nice.
It works meta. Maybe unlike the plot.
Well, the plot is meta. It just also is dada.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad that I'm not doing the plot.
Yeah, this is kind of long, but not as long as the Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's where
the Wikipedia even has the note saying this is too long.
It's funny because the note's dated 2018, so obviously that person never bothered to even follow up on it.
I watched most of it last night, and I need to finish up a bit this morning. I was like, okay, I'll just get my brain, caught up and read the wiki. I was like, oh crap, no. This is like not helpful at all.
Well, like, I finished the film and I was like, I should read the wiki to check I got this. Oh, okay, no, it just doesn't make sense. Cool.
So this is my great in joke, which was going to be a series of in jokes, but we're going back to the list. But it is that after I made you guys watch a Giallo film, which you'd never seen any of, really, I made you watch a parody of Giallo films, which is also a Giallo film and also is a weird, like Philip K. Dick-esque mindfuck.
This one's
also. But it works as a parody just of like 70s exploitation schlock.
It's true. There aren't a whole lot of in jokes that you would be legitimately, because someone like wearing a weird mask of a mannequin still works as a gag. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's pretty standard schlock fare. Of course, this movie is Canadian too, so does it really count as giallo? Does it have to?
That's also part of the joke. I mean, to me, it is.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so you as we said, you just kind of sipped this one on us. So how did it come your way? I guess should be my question to you that you could answer if you were so disposed to.
Well, another reason I brought this in is this is one of the good memories of running a film festival, because back in the day we received Manborg by Astron 6, which was a Canadian filmmaking collective. They've since broken up, but it was a weird $1,000 movie about a cyborg fighting in the future where all the effects were weird digital effects, and still really fun, really incredible movie. And tacked on the end of it is BioCop. Did either of you see the BioCop trailer before?
No,
I've heard both those names, so maybe, but also possibly I heard them from you.
That's possible. It's a fake trailer where a cop is just oozing guts, gore constantly, and just exploding, and he keeps just saying like, "Kill me, please! Why am I alive?" But absolutely loved BioCop and liked Manborg, not quite as much as BioCop. But they went on to do Father's Day, which was kind of mishandled by Trauma, which is about a guy named Chris Fuckman who rapes and murders dads on Father's Day. Um, anyway,
Oh, there was a little reference to that in this film.
there was. But this was one where we had a partnership with Atlanta Film Festival. We presented the Atlanta premiere of this film at that film festival, and that's how I saw it. So
So now you're
inside,
just shilling for it. You're a shill
yep.
today.
And these guys made Psycho Gorman more recently, which a lot more people probably saw.
Psycho
So do you guys
Gorman.
see Psycho Gorman?
No.
That's just kind of your track of film,
Oh.
you know.
It's a little kid accidentally summons a extremely violent alien who goes around and killing cops and stuff.
Remember, Luke and I started off with a sci-fi sanctuary, not a B&G sanctuary. So, you
Yeah,
know,
well,
that's more our track.
Yeah, I'm
usually.
genuinely not much of a horror guy until you and Andrew make me watch horror films. I watch one a year at Halloween.
I mean, honestly, I hate most horror films, but I like some of them, like this one, but and Psycho Gorman. But you know,
Okay,
anyway,
well,
here it is.
now you're going to do the plot, right? Which
Mhm.
is
Yep.
hopefully shorter than the wiki.
I don't know.
That's what I'm looking forward to, seeing how you did the plot, because I would have had to like cut off all my fingers and throw them at people, you know, if I was in charge of the plot.
Okay, well, here it goes. Ray Ciso was once the greatest editor in the world until he accidentally cut several of his fingers off in an editing accident because he was overwhelmed by his work editing the world's longest film and by his marital troubles with his wife Josephine, who is also a huge movie star. Now with one partially wooden hand, Ray is editing a giallo film called Tarantola with his assistant Bella, who's in love with him, while Josephine sits at home miserable. But in a twist, the stars of the film have started getting murdered in real life. Inspector Porphyry, whose wife went blind because she stumbled onto one of the bodies, has started looking into the case, and he suspects Ray, and not Cal, who is an untalented actor who conveniently now has top billing because the higher billed actors have all been murdered, and Cal also has lots of knives. Meanwhile, Ray has found footage of someone which someone left of the murders, but he keeps it secret. Porphyry returns home after looking into Ray's previous insane asylum stay. He is almost attacked by his wife Marguerite's seeing eye dog, and they have weird sex involving a cake. They are then attacked by the murderer, and after holding her captive behind a door, the murderer tricks Porphyry into killing Marguerite with an axe, without them ever seeing the killer's face. Another officer named Giancarlo arrives at the scene, and Porphyry talks his way out of it. Meanwhile, Bella finds the footage that Ray had of the murders and is herself murdered. Ray is then fired and replaced by Giancarlo, who hopes to solve the murder but also has no experience editing, and he is soon also killed while trying to learn how to edit. The director rehires Ray and is thrilled to find that he has a finished cut of the film. Meanwhile, Porphyry is convinced by a priest that editors are somehow bridges to the netherworld. Cal finds out that Ray has cut him from the film completely and threatens to kill him with a chainsaw, but then he doesn't. Porphyry and Cal conspire to get Ray and Cal kidnaps him and forces him to watch him have sex with Josephine, who reveals they've been having an affair and she is going to leave him. But then Cal and his girlfriend Jasmine are also murdered. Porphyry finds Cal's body and then decides to go after Ray. They have a car chase and then find out that Josephine is the real murderer and she would like to be referred to as Death. Porphyry accidentally blows the fingers off his hand, but Ray lights her on fire with his wooden hand on fire. They hug it out and go their separate ways, but then the next day, Porphyry finds that nothing is as it seems. Ray never existed, and he is trapped inside the editing machine. And also now Ray is married to Bella.
Okay, yeah, I
Pretty
still
much.
don't. This, you know what this movie is? It's like the orb, you know, the thing that the Saudis and Trump are hanging around.
Yeah,
It's like looking into the orb. Yeah, it's a black orb in this case.
Apart from the weird twist, which is obviously deliberately meant to make no sense, it's not that weird. It's just investigating a murder and then it turns out to be someone. Like, that's how films work.
And also the murderer, much as we saw a few weeks ago in Phenomena, it doesn't matter who the murderer is, and it makes no sense for that person to be the murderer.
Yeah, but it has to be a twist. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone's murdered by that point in the movie, accidentally or intentionally. So or
Yeah, there's
in
only
a
a few
weird
people
dream
left, so
sequence.
who can it be?
Well, Cal did kill Cesare.
That's my point. Everyone murders everybody, so who cares who the murderer is?
It doesn't matter.
Everyone's killing. That's right. um, I guess
So,
this.
Matt, I wonder if you had the same thought I did watching this film, which was this has big Garth Marenghi energy.
Yeah, that's all over my
Yeah.
notes. And I was sitting there. I mean, we have all done a Garth Marenghi podcast. Mark and I did the whole thing. Luke, you were on for like 2 episodes. I was like, "Where's the special sauce for that one?" Maybe like this one was just like I'm watching it mostly sideways with the editor. Like, huh? Is it like not quite stupid enough? Is it too well made?
I think this landed. I didn't actually have a beef with this.
Okay.
I think I think Garth Marenghi is more like it's more mocking of its source material, whereas this has a slight element of a loving homage.
Yeah,
but for the most part, I think this is a good example of what it is.
Yeah.
Who played Garth Marenghi? What's his name? Matthew something?
You're thinking of his
Matthew
buddy.
Holness.
Oh,
Matthew
yeah,
Holness.
they're both Matthews.
Yeah.
He's an incredibly funny person. Like, I don't think anybody doing this is a comedian on that level, but it's also not supposed to be that kind of film. This is more of an airplane, which the other reason why I brought this in is because, hey, there are good parodies still, and we should get to watch a good parody instead of having to only watch bad ones.
Okay, yeah. I guess I have the biggest beef, as you said, but I'm definitely going to put way above those. What was?
Yeah, I guess this is
Stan Helsing,
because this isn't like a direct parody of a specific film, right? This is more like Hot Fuzz, where it's parodying the genre.
Mm-hmm.
And that still exists and works.
That's definitely a better tack to take.
It's also a lot like Drive, for can't think of a better comparison than that. But that type of cinema that was happening at the time, where everything is kind of bright and loud and everyone stares and it works really well, like Moonlight.
Well, it was like a couple of years before this. I think, was it Beyond the Black Rainbow kind of established a bit of this aesthetic, I guess, the slow moving synth. It's like 2009, right? So I think that kind of got this ball rolling.
This is definitely like just peak vaporwave. I mean, it has Carpenter Brut in it. The music.
Oh yeah.
It has
I was actually
some of
weirdly,
the Hotline Miami 2 soundtrack, basically.
Yeah, I was actually weirdly disappointed to see that the music was credited to like 8 different people. I was kind of hoping for someone's like a singular synthesized vision, which I mean, this soundtrack's fully up my alley, so I'm not complaining about it. But I just almost wish it was like one person did the music.
I hate to throw everyone under the bus who does that, but I feel like everything like this is multiple artists, because synthwave guys have trouble coming up with the whole complete vision. I mean,
John Carpenter would make like one song for his movie and then just play it till the end of time.
I mean, and the Stranger Things guys, what do they Survive? I mean, they're fantastic. I think. I don't know how you guys feel about Stranger Things in general, but
I love the music.
It's great. Yeah, absolutely.
Luke, you remember my story about Stranger Things, right?
I really like the directing and everything. It's like the plot kind of is all over the place, but I'm not mad at it for any reason.
Yeah, the one criticism I have of Stranger Things that I agree with, which I've heard many times, is that each season is like one movie's worth of content dragged out for 9 episodes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then the episodes are the same length as movies.
Some of them, yeah.
The only thing that ever really made me mad enough to actually post about on the internet was there was something like a 30-minute reveal of something that was made obvious before the reveal happened in the last season, like who that guy was.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of everyone being like, yeah.
Mark, this would be a repeat on the podcast, but you've heard my experience with Stranger Things, right?
No.
I've only seen like maybe the first 2 episodes of the first season, so most of my knowledge about Stranger Things was by playing and finishing the dumb iPad Zelda ripoff game that was themed on Stranger Things. So I played that entire game for some reason, but I haven't actually watched the show. Even though in season 3, like that arcade, they're like their 80s arcade is you and I's 80s arcade. It's in what? Gwinnett Mall, right?
Okay, well, technically that was yours and not mine, but
You never went there?
also
Okay.
also they filmed that entire scene just in the food court that they kind of built. But I mean,
Yeah.
I think the first time I ever set foot in Gwinnett Mall was probably in the 90s.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just, yeah, my parents just, my dad had a big old car and he kind of wouldn't let my mom drive it, and he was afraid to drive on the expressway, so
Ah,
we
okay.
wouldn't
I
go
think
very
I'd be
far.
afraid to drive on the expressway now.
It's maybe scarier when you're a big giant car. It's
Yeah,
slow.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, that's my Stranger Things. Weirdly, I'm coming. I had the dumb casual gamer angle on that one. I don't know. I guess it wasn't quite a casual game. It was like, that's the Super Nintendo Zelda.
I Yeah, I haven't played it, so I can't comment. But I think
Yeah.
I got it for free from one of those PC game things that gives you games for free.
But you
Um
can get it for free now on the phone because Netflix has like a game section.
That's right. I
yeah,
think
I
And
got it
every
for
now and then
free.
they throw in like some pretty legit games.
yeah,
Like you can, I've got Into
Pointy.
the Breach.
Oh hell yeah. Point P?
Yeah,
Is
Point
that
P
the
as well.
Yeah, pretty good. I'm a big Downwell fan, so it's glad that
So,
oh,
since we don't have any name actors in the editor, I'm just
Hmm.
thinking of like
Oh, there are a
one.
couple name actors.
Well, we got our human
oh,
caterpillar Lawrence P. Harvey back, of course.
did you call him a human caterpillar? He called him a
Yeah,
human
I did it
caterpillar.
again. I did it again.
He's
Okay.
a human
No,
caterpillar.
by himself, he's the human caterpillar. He made a human
Yeah,
centipede.
he
Okay.
does
Sorry.
kind of look like a guy who would be a human caterpillar. It's
Yeah, I guess
fair.
he's a little more chill in this one. But
Yeah, he can act in this because he gets to talk.
right,
It's
right.
very exciting.
Right. Well, one, of course, the hairstyles are the actual stars, but then otherwise, I'm just like Adam Brooks. I just kept thinking that I was like mentally pasting Will Forte onto him, right? And then,
That
and
makes
then of
sense.
course, I got a Jake Busey on Cal. So I'm just kind of grafting actor personas as I'm watching it for whatever reason. I guess I need something familiar sometimes, especially when the plot is having ADHR whiplash.
Well, the big names are Paz de la Huerta, who I do not know very well, but I know she's in things.
Yeah, she was
Well,
in about. She was mostly in TV stuff,
I think she was in True Blood
Boardwalk
or something like
Empire
that.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Um,
Udo Kier, who Udo Kier should show up in something else, but I don't know what on our list.
oh,
He's in
oh,
a
and
ton of stuff. He's in Blade.
the inspector. I was thinking of a young Bruce Dern, of course,
Oh yeah.
which is probably what they're going for anyway.
Well, Inspector is the co-director along with the guy who played Racy So, and I
And
think them and the guy who played Cal are in Astron 6. So there's 3 more people who are in Astron 6. I
yeah,
think there's
I
6 of
also
them.
tell you, I think part of my beef on the movie is, I had to watch it last night, right? I'm
Hmm.
halfway through Asteroid City, and I want to finish Asteroid City, but I couldn't finish
Oh.
Asteroid City because I was watching the editor.
Well, sometimes you gotta take your blood before you get your
That's right.
asteroids.
Take your blood before you get your asteroids. That's a key tenet of life, I believe.
while we're on actors, though, Connor Sweeney, he played Cal. He should have been in Barbie. He looks exactly like Ken from Toy Story 3.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Now, of course, I landed on the Jake Busey square, but sure. You would not want Jake Busey as Ken.
There are many Kens. He could have been one of the Kens. That would have been great.
He could have been a Ken. That's right.
The
Oh,
Ken from Starship Troopers.
I rewatched the Barbie movie and I was distressed to see that not Gosling's Ken, but all the other Kens were playing my exact model of acoustic, which I didn't know how to feel about that. That means
See,
that Barbie apparently had product placement from Gibson, but yeah, they're all playing mine. I'm like, what? Huh? I want to play the guitar at people, sure.
I still haven't watched that because I'm too busy watching things for podcasts. So
Right.
that's my Asteroid City, I guess. which I
Did you
haven't
watch the
seen
first
either.
half?
Of Barbie?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Okay,
then
I
it's not
guess
your
it's not
Asteroid
fair.
City. You'd have to be halfway through.
It isn't. It isn't. You're right.
I don't know. Oh yeah, Luke. I was curious how your retch factor, because we get a fair amount of tarantulas. Is tarantula okay as opposed to spider, or does tarantula still fit in
I
your?
don't love tarantulas, but like they weren't bothering me in this.
Okay.
My arachnophobia is a lot less than it used to be. Since moving to Japan and just having to deal with spiders when I go hiking.
England doesn't have
Makes sense.
spiders.
Like I've basically accidentally given myself exposure therapy.
There we go.
All right.
Okay. How about
I still wouldn't
halfway
want one on
killings?
me.
How about the halfway killings? You say you don't like, but like, when we get a very
This
2000
was
Maniac style.
firmly, yeah. No, the one that bothered me in 2000 Maniacs was the first one where the tone wasn't comedic and it just looked horrendous. There's not a single scene in this film that isn't ridiculous, so none of the violence bothered me in this.
Okay.
Yeah,
How about a
I
favorite death?
I love the well, it's not actually one of the real deaths, it's the one in the film.
They're all
Well,
in
the
the
start
film.
of
You
the
can
film.
count it.
No, but like in the fake film that they're making in the film,
Mm-mm.
where he puts the poisonous spider on her and then just kills her with a fucking axe anyway.
Well, it's like a
Oh,
calling
perhaps you're
card.
familiar with my friend, the Brazilian poison spider. Anyway,
My note was, did he also axe the spider?
well, that's what I thought.
I don't think
axing
so.
through the spider as some kind of ritual.
Yeah.
I think that the spider was on her chest and they just axed her in the head.
And there's lots of, I guess for me, I like, weird stop motion. So I like seeing what's her name melt on fire at the end.
Yeah, I was kind of gonna say that, even though I think my favorite scene is the is the thing where the detective goes home and the seeing eye dog is like a vicious German Shepherd. Like that's
Yeah.
my favorite bit. I can't get
Oh,
over how fun.
no. My favorite bit is I bet you $5,000 this is a mask. And then
Oh
he
yeah.
pulls off her face. That's a joke that for years I've been saying I would do if I was doing a Mission Impossible parody. But turns out someone has beaten me to it.
And then they just stick it right back on and she's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that would have upset me when I was a kid, I bet.
I might,
But no, that's hilarious. That's genius.
Yeah.
I might have a few of these, but things I think I saw in the movie, and maybe I got it wrong. Was the detective playing catch with the dog by throwing a machete, and then he comes back with a severed hand? Was that a machete being thrown?
I think it was the stick, but the dog still had the handle from being a seeing eye dog attached to it, which was funny.
Yeah. And anyway, that was one thing I was like, did he just throw a machete? But yeah, maybe it was a stick. Maybe by that point of the movie, I'm not expecting to see sticks. I'm just expecting to see machetes.
Also, a lot
okay.
of the wife slapping humor in this. So this is the kind of jokes that people like to say you can't make anymore. But they make them here because there is a joke to it and it's clearly saying something. It's not just isn't it funny to beat your wife?
Yeah.
But my absolute favorite is when he's there, the editor's at dinner with his wife, and the detective walks into the scene from absolutely nowhere, slaps his wife for him, tells him he has to control his woman, and then the wife says, "Yeah, you never slap me. Am I supposed to slap myself?"
Yeah, I did. My first
amazing.
Garth Marenghi note was that we're looking at Garth Marenghi levels of misogyny,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's making fun of like schlocky 70s. Like, I don't really know Giallo, but I know exploitation films. And like even James Bond used to treat women like that. So the way it's played here is legitimately very funny.
And they do.
Maybe that's going to get us cancelled. I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely.
I don't think this got anybody canceled.
I don't think it would. I mean, I don't know. It's hard
to... No, I'm joking.
I didn't find any reviews that were negative that said this should be canceled or anything like that.
I mean,
So
maybe
that's whatever
there's
that's
probably
worth.
someone involved in the movie might have done something horrible later, but that's later.
That says
Yeah.
nothing.
um, what was I? Oh, I guess this is my favorite quote in the movie because I wrote it down, which is, "That's a great looking penis you've got."
Yes, that was a great line.
Then he says, "Today's going to be a great day." I don't know. That guy is amazing. The guy who played Cal is like the most amazing, intentionally bad actor. I don't know.
He was brilliant. Yeah, he was really funny.
I mean, they do stumble it because I guess you're dabbling in this like kind of like hyper stylized form of film. Occasionally, there was like 1 minute or somewhere in the middle where I was like, man, it really does kind of feel like something like Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me for about 2 minutes. The music got very Twin Peaksy for a minute and that sort of thing. So,
Yeah, it feels kind of like an homage to that, but also Videodrome. It has a direct Videodrome homage.
oh right, with the hand coming out of the editing bay I assume is what we're talking
And
about.
the tape throbbing.
Yeah. There's the Cronenberg, but I was going to say without the body horror, but I guess there's plenty of body horror in this movie, especially if you're into
the
hands.
face ripped off. Yeah,
But
absolutely body horror.
People aren't turning into weird insectoids or something, so you don't get that, or weird machinery like Existens,
So that's the question: can you have body horror without mutation? Can you
Yeah,
have
to me, body horror is not just mutilation. It's like your body going wrong in some way, right?
I think
Like
it's
it has to have
just
like a medical bent.
like a type of gore where it just lingers on it for long enough. Like, I don't know. If
Maybe
you
you're right.
if you had a problem with like fingers being cut off, you would probably be very upset by this film.
Yeah, I was about to say, I
There's
think
a lot of it.
that counts as body horror because that's a permanent change. That's part of the editors. What someone calls him a cripple. I'm like, with a hand.
They call him a
bunch,
cripple
yeah.
constantly.
Yeah.
In this movie. He has a wooden hand.
I was like, yeah, that doesn't seem like, I don't know. I don't think I'd call
Like,
someone with a wooden hand a cripple.
the director saying like, I wouldn't call anyone a cripple to be clear. But
Well, right. But I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't even occur to me that someone would call them that. It's
so, like, yeah, I love that he's like, I thought it'd be fun to have a cripple around, but no. Insane stuff.
I mean, I guess I don't know that much about film editing. How much does that hamper you? I mean, you're pressing buttons, you're cutting things. You can do that with prosthetics, right? I don't know.
I think it's just that is a further layer of parody where it's parodying the sad man who can't do his job anymore. I mean, like Airplane, it's a direct line to Airplane where it's like, I can't fly anymore because I have a drinking problem or whatever.
He even finished the movie early. He had a finished cut.
Yeah, he actually was a great editor.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's the best.
And the guy in Airplane was a great pilot, I think, from what I remember.
Something like that. He flies the plane at the end.
Hey, he flies the plane.
Yeah.
He done flew the plane.
I flew the plane.
Airplane.
Yeah.
I showed Airplane to my family a few years ago and they hated it. I guess that you got you got to know. I mean, you couldn't just show this to anyone and they'd be like,
also, like, it's 90% wordplay, and you're showing it to a group of people. It's their second language.
A good point. Well, the reason being because it was 50 yen in a used bin. So yeah, what the hell?
Right? Oh yeah. I'm not.
I mean, I'd buy that movie. It's good.
Well, I did.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, exactly.
I have so many movies I can say that for now, including RoboCop. No, I think I paid $4 for that on Blu-ray, but yeah,
I would pay.
I paid
any
way
number of
too
dollars
much
for RoboCop.
I got the newer RoboCop
for
$40.
There's a recent RoboCop documentary, and have you seen the Oreo clip that's going around?
That sounds weirdly familiar. Keep going.
So, I don't know if I want to spoil it or not, but like they're talking to some guy who was on set who was like, he was standing by with Oreos to give like Peter Weller as a snack, and then he's like, Robo wants Oreo, and he's like, no, it's just me and you here. Say Peter wants an Oreo. Like, Robo wants Oreo. Robo, and the whole video, it looks like it's a parody, right? But then it's Peter Weller or Paul Weller?
Peter Weller. Paul Weller is
Okay,
from the
good,
Jam.
good. Yeah, I knew one of them was a musician and one of them was RoboCop.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to actual Peter Weller going, I don't remember him and his fucking Oreos. So it's definitely from the real documentary.
That is awesome. I'm gonna watch this.
I think you're
very
allowed to
soon.
spoil that sort of thing.
And it's like reenacted with like courtroom drama paintings. The whole thing is insane.
You could call them storyboards of reality, like I like to do. Storyboards
Yeah.
of reality. Let's see. Definitely a double cuck scene there at the end. I'm just going through. I was
Lots
like,
of lots of cuck in here.
yeah.
And cakey.
I like that a lot of films sort of homage like the music and the color schemes and the gore of this period without really embracing the nudity and the sexuality, which this film just went in whole hog. The opening credits are over a strip club.
I one of my favorite things about this film is that sometimes people will be having conversations and someone will just be taking their clothes off in the background.
Yeah.
It's
just walk through the set naked. Incredible.
It's a
Yeah.
world of casual nudity. It's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like, I
speaking of
mean, these
RoboCop.
films were being shot with like the porno was being shot in like the room next door, I assume. And it was like, do 10 pornos for us, we'll give you a speaking role in one of our horror films. Like,
Yeah, there is a lot of crossover between American slasher movies and porno too. Wes Craven filmed at least one porno. I think Sean Cunningham did, and a porno director directed Friday the 13th Part 5, which is the one with the most sex in it.
Oh, I do need to correct your calling the opening scene a strip club. I believe that is what we refer to as a scummy titty bar.
Okay.
Like the one near my parents' house. That would have been I guess maybe it's not there anymore, but that would have been a scummy titty bar, not a strip club.
I never went in.
What's
I
the
never
difference?
went into that.
I guess the basement of the Claremont Lounge is like the prime scummy titty bar, which you said does not exist anymore. Is that correct? Or is it still
It
there?
exists.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just that the hotel above it was gutted and refashioned as a fancy hotel with like restaurants on the roof and things like that. So
it's a fancy hotel with a
basically,
scum bar at the bottom.
yeah,
That's kind of cool in its own right.
yeah. And I have no idea how scummy the bar is anymore because it got to the point where it was just so crowded that I stopped going really.
Okay.
It's probably a little bit cleaner now and more crowded.
Anyway, for me, it was all about 80s bar and lounge. I guess technically 70s, but they have that scene, the bar and lounge. I'm like, yeah, I wanna hang out there.
But yeah, Luke probably doesn't know that there is a lady named Blondie who's famous for crushing PBR cans between her boobs. And
She can still be. Is she still there?
I don't think so, but I know she's still alive and she's still around.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
she used
yeah,
to write weird poetry, just like handwritten poetry, and then Xerox it and give a copy to my manager at the pizza place I used to work at, and she would put it on the bulletin board in the back. It would just be like this nonsense.
she sounds like a legend.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
one
yeah, she
time
is
I
a
was at
legend.
Kroger and she was just like arguing with the cashier, and I just decided not to buy anything, and I just left. She was arguing with the cashier for a long time.
I hope that was a murder Kroger.
It was the murder Kroger.
Yay.
We also have a Kroger that's known as the murder Kroger because 3 murders have happened there.
I think 3 murders is enough to be a murder Kroger.
People,
like 1 murder there, I think it's unfair.
Yeah. Yeah. People. I mean, I find it a little bit ridiculous that people celebrate it that much because a lot of people were afraid to go to Murder Kroger in the 90s. But
we went there all the time.
They tore it down and built a new Kroger, which people demand is also called Murder Kroger because they won't let it die.
Well, if they really want it to be a murder Kroger, they should go and commit some murders in there.
I mean, we'll see what happens. It's never too late, right?
Didn't they gentrify that part of town too much?
I mean, it's pretty gentrified, but you can murder somebody anywhere, right?
Yeah. Murder is a everybody thing.
That's the great thing about murder, you know? It doesn't discriminate.
Anywhere,
birth, death, and
anytime,
murder.
ready to murder. Well, that's certainly the world of this movie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Again, I think that is the best joke though. The twist doesn't matter because literally everyone in the movie's murdered someone else, whether it be in the fake movie or the movie or you know what I'm saying.
Or
I
a
mean,
dream
nobody was actually
sequence here and
murdered.
there.
Yeah. Everyone commits murder in this movie somewhere.
Even the
Yeah,
detective accidentally murders his own wife.
yeah. And he just
Accidentally would do the
he
quotations.
gives the other cop booze and tells him, "Hey, I didn't. It's my wife. I didn't do this."
That
And it
also had
makes it
another
worse.
great jag where he's like, "You saw the man who did this, right? Yeah, a black man. Not my words, but okay."
Your words. Yeah.
Yeah, wild stuff.
I'm sitting here looking up reviews if someone wants to throw it out of observation.
I did
mean,
find the first sort of 5 minutes were just like a fairly accurate parody. And then the jokes started coming, and then they came more and more. And I was like, oh, okay, no, this is a comedy and this is deliberate. And I found myself getting more into it as time went on. And by the end, I was very much digging it.
Hell yeah. I was originally just gonna try and not tell you what kind of movie it was so that it would completely surprise you, but I told you guys anyway.
I don't think. Did you tell us?
I told you like last night or
Oh, you said it had
yesterday.
blood. That's pretty much.
I told you it was a parody of Giallo because there was some
Oh
question
yeah,
about
but
whether you're gonna
remember,
watch
I
the
don't
right
have a fucking
movie.
clue what Giallo is.
Well,
You just
We talked
watched
about it
one.
that one time.
but what I was gonna do for the next couple of months was probably do an OSS 117 film. Have you guys seen any of those? Where it was like a French spy series, but they brought it back as a parody of itself,
No, but that
which
sounds fun.
is a very dry, extremely dry, much more dry than this. It's just basically imagine James Bond just being an asshole, and
So
that's the joke.
like half the 60s James Bonds.
Yeah, I was about to say it, like James Bond.
Yeah, but it's just he's completely the worst person on it. Anyway, and then
like 60s
probably
James Bond.
that Indian film, that's like the Terminator ripoff that I told you
Oh
guys
yeah, I do want to see that one.
It's really good, but it's 3 hours long. But I
Oh
was
my
just
God.
like, well, it'd be fun if we could just say, well, you can't have we have Terminator at home. This is Terminator at home. You know,
And it's longer. It's like having one and two together.
yeah, I think it's longer than Avatar, probably.
I did appreciate you picking a 90-minute movie.
Yeah, that was the thing. Eventually, I was gonna
Especially
do
when we're doing
something,
two this
but
week.
yeah.
That at least was I did save it till last night, so I did 90 minutes doesn't break the bank.
Yeah.
Well, for Matt to watch any film in its entirety is impressive, even if it is only 90 minutes.
I did
Yeah.
chase it. I did chase it with 30 minutes of Too Fast, Too Furious.
Are you
Oh,
watching
and not
all those?
Asteroid City. So, like, that's on you.
Well, Asteroid City is on my computer, right? And this is I was lying in bed watching. It's got to be on a Blu-ray, so it was. I don't have Asteroid City on a Blu-ray.
I live in a crazy world where I have everything in one place and live by myself, so don't know what
I'm
that's
just
like.
talking about this side of the room versus that side of the room. Asteroid City is at this side of the room movie, whereas Too Fast, Too Furious is at that side of the room movie.
I just watch it all right here, right where I'm talking to you guys.
Right. No, I was doing
Right
the bad
right
practice
now,
of
Right
here, right
going
now.
to bed while
now.
watching a movie, and then you
This-
don't remember where you are because you fell asleep. I
This
remember
is
I
right
did,
where I should be playing Alan Wake 2 and keep putting it off.
I did properly stop Too Fast, Too Furious, so I know where to start again. So I got that going for me.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, let me know if I should watch all of the Fast and Furious movies after you're done.
Yes, you should.
Okay. Okay. I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah, I had to get back to it. I got a bit distracted watching all those Fincher films and the
Speaking
Pierce
of long,
Brosnan Bond movies.
are those long? Those aren't long.
They're
Are
like
they?
2 hours,
Not
12
especially, but
minutes.
there's a few of them.
They're not epic, but I think they're like traditional old school Bond movies are just over 2 hours typically. I don't think they usually come in under, but also you don't yeah. Tomorrow Never Dies is probably not worth watching again.
Whatever
I think
it
Tomorrow Never
was.
Dies is aged pretty well.
Was that the one with the invisible car?
No,
No,
that I
that's
like
well,
that. That's
that's
Die Another Day.
Okay, well, that was the one where I
Matt's
was
the
like, I'm
weird guy
done.
who likes the bad one.
That's the whole
Okay.
movie is his fever dream as he's rotting away in a North Korean prison.
Okay, sure, that makes it better.
And then the next movie, New Bond.
Yeah,
So I like
fair
that.
enough.
For the editor, is it film? Is it filth?
I mean,
It's
it's
an
kind of,
absolute celebration of filth.
yeah. It's three films within films, and all of them are full of filth. So
Yeah,
it's just
I mean,
Yeah.
stacked.
you know, Phenomena was filth, wallowing in a pool of what maggots and gore, whereas this one is
Mm.
just in bright red Caro syrup blood pool.
Yep.
Yeah, the
So
blood in
Yeah,
this was fun.
love it.
absolute filth.
Love the car crash. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. Forgot to mention the car crash where the cars are just like,
I mean, obviously his role in here is not that big, but does that make Lawrence P. Harvey the king of filth?
He's up there.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would enjoy being called that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
probably. I mean, you can't just say someone like, I was gonna say Argento because we're talking Garo, but I would call
yeah.
Argento an actual good director. So maybe,
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
Udo Kier was in Suspiria. I mean, we haven't really talked about him. He's also in Blade, which is somehow not on the list. I don't know how.
I guess Lloyd Kaufman gets might be the king of filth. I don't know. Anyway, I do have a one. There's only one-star review here for
Yep.
this movie. Um, I guess I'll read that and maybe Mark look up a good one. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll do the only one-star review is so stupid. This must be one of the worst movies ever made. Plot is random, to put it mildly. Performances are shockingly bad, hammy in the extreme. Production values are woeful, especially for a 2014 film. Even if viewed as a parody of 70s B grade movies, it doesn't work. Not funny and worse than the films is parodying. 3 out of 7 found it helpful. I mean, I didn't love it, but I thought the production values are pretty good on this. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it looks incredible
Yeah,
for
there was
this
a lot of it was
level
really
of.
well shot.
Yeah,
I think
definitely
it's
good.
that Canada money, basically. It says co-produced by Film
Canada.
Canada or something. So yeah, I think it's one of those things where that's the effect you get when a government actually values the arts at all.
Hmm.
Like almost every year when I was running the Buried Alive Film Festival, the winning short would be something from like Chile or something because the government just would give them enough money to do some kind of insane concept piece, which would not it would be hard to even raise the money to do through Kickstarter here.
Because
Which
Black Rainbow is also Canadian, right? Which is maybe why I'm
yes,
kind of like there might be a certain Canada look to this era of film. I don't know. So
well, yeah, Videodrome is Canadian. I mean, Cronenberg's Canadian. Splice is Cube
yeah, apparently he was
stuff.
in Star Trek. Cronenberg was in Star Trek Discovery simply because he
Hmm.
like lived down the street.
Yeah, he was also in Jason X.
Where they filmed that in Toronto. He's
I
just
think it was
there.
a Canadian production.
Yes, Cronenberg's down the street. Call him. He'll show up and act for you.
and and Nightbreed, which may or may not have been Canadian, but it kind of feels like a Canadian film. Not really
Yeah, yeah.
sure.
What is the Canada feel? I mean, we're watching. I definitely agree, but I don't know what it is.
It's just a certain kind of edginess that I find really irresistible. I
Hmm.
can't tell you, like body horror, I guess gore. Is it gore?
Maybe the
Because
Canadians are best at putting vaporwave on screen, as you were saying earlier. Like
yeah, Beyond the
they
Black
have the
Rainbow did have a lot of gore in it. Like you might
yeah
not remember it for that, but it did.
yeah. So
Just
maybe it's a vaporwave touch too. I think that's it. Americans
yeah.
like what does the best for an American movies like Inherent Vice or something? I don't know.
What like best? What is Inherent Vice? The best American movie? Is
No.
that
I'm
what you're
talking about
saying?
American movies that get the vaporwave vibe.
Oh, Drive is a good example.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
But
uh,
it feels. I think the Canadian version of it feels really smooth. Like it's
mm,
like I'm not saying it is digital. I mean, this might have been shot on digital, but it just feels like digital. Whereas the American one has a little more grit, you know. But then you're showing extreme
Nightcrawler?
gore. Yeah.
Is Nightcrawler Canadian though?
I don't think it's. I don't know. It's in my Blu-ray folder, but I haven't watched it. It's one of those.
You've never watched it at all?
I bought that for $1.
It's American. It's wonderful. You'll like it. I think you'll
Well,
like
I
it.
heard good things. That's why I picked it up for $1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a goodie for us?
Yeah, I've got it. Okay, one. Here it is. 10 out of 10 stars. The one of the best movie I've ever watched. Funny, stylish, fancy. This is a really amazing movie. A lot of references to Jallo, Jallo movies and horror movies from the 80s. I look forward to new movies from these guys. 1 out of 5 found this helpful.
Mine was written slightly better than yours today.
I'm sorry, I had to find one that was kind of funny, and the other two were just kind of
No, that's cool.
coherent, dry,
I
dry
go for that.
reviews.
I take that route. That's fine.
Yeah, it's cheap thrills. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed this. At least Matt.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I think it had good lines, it had some funny deliveries. The gore and the schlock was like just joyfully done. I think it actually touched on like Garth Marenghi, it did touch on like the misogyny of old films in a way which I think a lot of parodies shy away from. And yeah, I legitimately found it really funny. There's a couple of moments where I was just legit like stood at a train station looking at my phone laughing.
Oh no, you watched this on the train?
Yeah.
Well, what are you gonna do?
You're turning
I got no shame.
Turn into the OG son salary man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I already look intimidating. I know I want.
I just feel like we should reward ourselves with a good comedy before watching the Love
We get
Guru,
back to the list, yeah.
which I have no idea if
you gotta watch Toy Story first.
Okay, Toy Story is a great comedy.
But... Next episode should be Toy Story, but then yeah, it's the Love Guru, which I'll tell people is also airing on December 7th, I believe. So that makes it especially infamous.
Whoa, it's airing?
Yeah. So the Love
That's
Guru
amazing.
coming on December 7th.
What's the big deal about December 7th?
That's Pearl Harbor Day, so Americans are like, it's a day that lives in infamy.
Damn.
I think Pearl Harbor's just been replaced by 9/11 now. You can't have both.
Yeah.
You're not allowed.
Yeah.
Pick
one.
one.
You really shouldn't have that either.
Pick one tragedy to pretend you're the only country that ever had tragedies.
I'm gonna pick the Kent State shooting.
I don't know what date that was. April 30th.
I don't know. I'm
See,
sorry.
you don't know either.
Terrible.
You can't pick, if you don't know the date, you can't pick it.
I'm sorry. I'm terrible leftist. May 4th. May the 4th be not with you.
I was like 5 days off. I'm a genius.
Yeah, you knew exactly.
I think Mark also pulled his out of his ass.
This really did. No, May 4th it's actually May 4th. So
no, May 4th is Worst Switch Day.
It's Worst Switch? What?
That's a
Worst
dumb
Witch
joke
Day?
from Game Show.
Oh damn. Either I forgot or I haven't gotten to that one yet.
It's a really old one.
Okay, then I forgot. My brain has been compounded over with multiple game show jokes.
I think you're allowed to forget things that you heard in podcasts that you listen to regularly because,
especially when they're so full of nonsense and bullshit as game show is.
I guess I should just leave that to us. Plugging away, game show, Films and Filth. You can support all that stuff over on Patreon at Podcastius, where we also give you episodes early, sometimes with additional banter. I could list other shows there, but 2 feels like enough for the moment. See?
Also, I feel like we need to update the list of shows on the Patreon page. It's well out of date.
Oh, yeah, that might be the case.
I've always say to people, oh, you should go to that link. That's the best place to find all our shows. It's really not.
Just search
it's
for
a good
things.
place to find 2 or 3 out of date shows that we don't do anymore.
we definitely need to make sure that people are on the right feed for this show, because I think I need to post about that, because I have friends who actually listen to this show.
So you're currently cross-posting, right, Matt?
I'm currently cross posting. So for listeners, if you're
Okay.
on the feed that says Films and Filth, that includes all the old Sci-Fi Sanctuary episodes. So you got lots to listen to if you haven't heard it. If you're on the other feed, you may note that the name changed to Ye Old Films and Filth feed, which I'll keep going for a little while. But we'll see.
We'll see. Your days are numbered.
Yeah. Well, when no one's downloading them from there, I'll probably stop bothering. Or
There's
maybe
going to
I
be
could
like 10
sign.
people who just stubbornly refuse to change forever. You've just forced yourself to now do it twice every week for the rest of time.
Maybe we'll see. Okay. Edit your podcast properly, people, says a guy who doesn't do that.
Oh my God. I just
Poor
got a
God.
notification that the Engage special episode of Game Show just came out.
Enjoy.
Okay.
I am excited. I've been excited.
Guess
There's your
us gonna
inside
do
joke.
then.
Hey, listeners, check that out. There's an Engage special quiz.
I saw you cut there. Seems like
Sorry,
a
I didn't realize we were stopping, or I wouldn't have said that extra.
No, that's great. End with a plug for my podcast. I love it.
With a oh my God notification. Late stage notification. You can have that.
Breaking news. Beep, 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 beep,
Dude.
I was when you did that, I was going to be like, a third plane hit the tower.
That would have been like, no, we're switching back to Pearl Harbor.
So
I don't know.
This plane hit the tower and somehow fixed it.
it pushed it back up.
Like when you get hit by a second coconut and lose your amnesia.
Exactly.
Nice sitcom logic.
Oh, man.
There's some gags for the patrons. Actually, I think you should keep them in after the music, Matt.
The third plane was just another building that just flew into place. So now there's just a plane that is the building. I mean, what if they rebuilt the World Trade Center as just two planes? That would have been pretty cool, right? Two planes sticking to the ground.
Yeah, sure. That'd be fun. And there'd be a sky bridge between the two. That would be the wings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go through an actual like airplane, the walkway thing.
So I'm mentally blurting out what our schedule is while you're all here. This time next
blurting all kinds of shit.
This time, same time next week, Love Guru. Toy Story after that, because this Monday's out, so Sunday, Monday.
Toy Story the Monday after, right? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's straightened.
Yeah, I already told Mercy she's down.
Okay, cool.
But like she has no recollection of saying she would do Toy Story.
You have a recollection.
I think we mentioned it to you in passing, and you would just like put it in your head as dead set. Luke and Mercy want Toy Story, but like
I did. Okay.
I don't think she cares that. Like she'll do it. She's fine to do it. She watched those films, but it's not like she's a passionate Toy Story fan. Or something.
Oh, see, I thought you might be coming from that angle, so I didn't know.
No, I think it was the first one on our list that I knew she'd seen.
Oh, okay. Because when people tell me I should, I mentally file it. If not, write it down on the papers. Okay. I will catch you all in the laters then. So have a groovy one.
Later.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah.
So this is work chat, Mark. Don't worry about this.
Oh.
So you made the spinner.